Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So in this one here, I want to talk about episode 21 and 22, I guess. I do want to talk about sort of, I guess, the state that we're now in, regarding some of the stuff that we're hoping to find out, right? Like, I know a lot of people are waiting to see any sort of Rick Grimes survival reveal, any sort of like, I guess CRM tease, or like, not even just a teaser to it, but just like literally like awareness by our group that that place does exist. And then them just basically trying to travel over there or have some sort of contact with them, to try and find Rick. Like however it's going to play out. Basically, after watching 21, which did just sort of prove a little bit more that we are getting this storyline, we only got 3 more episodes here, and that's where a lot of people's focus is. So obviously, before we go any further, please be aware that this video will contain spoilers for episode 21, which I will be doing some videos on. I'll do some videos on 21 talking about certain moments throughout the week, but I will focus a lot on episode 22 as well. There's a lot of things I want to break down in that trailer because it looks like we're actually going to be getting into some interesting storylines that we haven't gotten into for a while now. And again, we have 3 more episodes left here, so this is exciting. I also wanted to mention one thing. So I'm not going to be doing the late night streams and stuff like that on Twitch anymore. It just honestly, it's really gotten to the point where it's just too rough on me, and in terms of just like my work balance lifestyle or whatever. Like, I've been doing it for a long time. I guess basically since AMC Plus came out, I started doing it with Fear the Walking Dead World Beyond as well sometimes, but then I kind of calmed down with it a little bit, and I always kind of did it with The Walking Dead, and I really am, I think, the only one that's really doing it. Like, not staying up late, but like doing that and then getting my review out immediately. But the thing is, it's honestly, it's rough, like, just in terms of my own personal life. Like, I still haven't slept yet. Like, I actually still haven't slept yet. I did my videos and whatnot. I still actually haven't slept yet. I have my dad over right now watching my kids while I have to do this video right now. And then I still haven't slept yet. So it's like, it's just one of those things that it's rough. It's honestly really rough. And I think if I just have a full night's sleep, wake up in the morning, even if I do have the kids, I do have the time to do a video when I'm with them and sort of edit it and all of that. Like, I do actually have that time. So I think it just makes so much more sense. This way, I'm just going to stream on Twitch sort of in the evenings on Sundays, which I think that works a little bit better, right? Like, I'll stream basically when the episode would be airing on cable. Like, I think that actually works a lot better because more people will be able to join, because not a lot of people join late at night. And I think that's one of those things as well. Like, there are a lot of you guys there. Like don't get me wrong. There's a lot of you guys there. It's just that, yeah, I just don't necessarily see the need to actually get into that. But anyway, I just want to let you guys know about that. So the episode 22 trailer really, I mean, obviously people got pretty excited about everything that we saw in there. It actually seems like they're wrapping up a lot of stuff in here. I do think Eugene's trial will be wrapped up and done. The Oceanside reveal stuff will be wrapped up and done. So those storylines we could put behind us after this episode. And then some of the stuff with Alexandria and all that, I think will be sort of wrapped up and done as well. And then I think going into 23 and 24, the only storyline that's really going to remain, I guess, is just sort of the main one, which is just like taking down Pamela Milton. And then some of the Rick stuff as well, sort of tying in some of that, and that's what I do want to talk about here, because I've been seeing some people saying, well, I've seen that you've referenced that there was a CRM location teaser or whatever in the latest episode, but like, I watched it and I didn't get it. I mean, it is something that is really easy to miss, but it was in a scene with Daryl and that soldier where they talk about this place called Designation 2. And so this is the one place that we're all kind of theorizing right now. Like, everyone online is sort of wondering, what the hell does this place mean? Because Designation 2 seems to be a place where people go and they are just never heard from again. And again, this is separate from what Negan and Ezekiel and the other characters dealt with. Like, it is totally separate from what they're dealing with. Designation 2 is a place where this train was going, it seemed like the train was actually going in that direction. It wasn't going to where Negan and Ezekiel were, although it could stop by there. That didn't seem to be the actual place it was going. It seems like this new place, wherever this is literally a place where people go to and they're just never seen from again, which to me, I think means the CRM. I don't know what else that would mean. The CRM literally, like, Heath has never been heard from or seen from again, right? Like, I don't know, is he still alive out there? That's a big question that I have, and I think it would be really cool to address that. Like, I know sometimes I'm sort of against it because I'm just so sick of those questions, but I mean, I'm not gonna be mad if I see him on screen, in the Rick TV show. Like, if they actually do that, I'll be so excited. That'd be crazy. So Designation 2 seems to be this place where, again, I think the people that are going to the Civic Republic are going to go. Because the one question that I have, and this is the one thing that I think people need to think about, where is Tyler Davis? Like, where is he? He's not at this camp. Yes, they do have multiple camps, but it's not like he's not around right now. You know, in Alexandria, maybe he's there as well. But I also have some questions about Alexandria. Why is it a processing center? Like, I'm honestly wondering if that is sort of where they process whether or not you're an A or a B sort of thing, right? I actually wonder, like, again, the A or a B thing, that is something that I don't know if they sort of use that terminology a lot at the CRM. That's something that we heard from Jada specifically, and us fans talk about that at the CRM. I don't know if they talk about it in that sense, like, oh, I never had an A, I had a B or whatever. You know, like Jadis talks like that. I don't know if everyone else does. It is sort of hard to know because we haven't actually seen it yet. In World Beyond, we did see that there was test subjects and they had A above it. But like, again, did they refer to them as A's? No, that was just sort of A dash whatever, right? So yeah, I want to see more clarity on that. I think that would be really nice here. But I'm actually wondering if that's the point of Alexandria, you know, and this storyline here is if this is a processing center, because we have some scenes of Ezekiel. I mean, there's multiple scenes here. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I'm not necessarily understanding what's happening here. You know, like we have Ezekiel. Obviously, like here, he's being held by 2 Commonwealth soldiers, and it looks like something bad is about to happen. But there's other shots where he's actually like on his knees on the ground, and it's snowing, it seems like, or maybe it's ash, but it's snowing or something like that. So when I see something like that, I'm like, is this a separate night? Is this like later on? Like, is this different? And so if it is, that's pretty telling right there. You know, it means that something is about to go down here in Alexandria, where, you know, at nighttime, I guess there's actually going to be this whole processing thing. You know, realistically, I'm trying to think of how they would do this. And I really do feel like in terms of, you know, if you're going to be taking people away kind of thing, you probably would do it at nighttime, right? I know with the Rick situation, it was during the day. I feel like that was more of a special case because Jadis actually had some connections and stuff, and it was sort of in the middle of nowhere. But I feel like in places like this, I think it makes sense that it would happen at night, right? Like, I think it actually makes sense for it to happen more at nighttime. And so that's where I go to this whole designation 2 thing. Like, they never addressed it. And that's what I mean by the CRM location tease. Because, like, that has to be what that is. Like, they had to have just teased literally the location of the Civic Republic outpost or base or whatever, like whatever it's going to be. I believe that they hinted at it there. Because the one thing that I want to say too is I find it so off, like so off that when you watch the episode Insiders, Angela Kang doesn't talk about anything that happened in relation to that stuff. There's literally no reference to things that Lanza said, to things that have happened. She doesn't really talk about this camp that much. Like, it's so weird. There's so many things that happen that, like, it's almost purposeful. Like, it's just they don't talk about it. Like, I'm even thinking about the end of episode 20. There was some stuff that happened to Lance there, and this whole train and what's happening with that. Nothing. Like, literally no reference there. They just talk about Lance. So I just find it weird that they're really ignoring a lot of stuff here, because there seems to be this actual intention to do so, you know. And I think about all of the interviews that have been done with Angela Kang and Scott Gimple. They're so quiet on anything regarding the last episode or two. Like, literally anything. They will not talk about a single thing. They're asked about this or that. They're just like, they literally just don't talk about it. They just ignore it. And I wonder if that's a new strategy here for the ending, because they want to shock people, right? They want to keep people guessing and sort of wondering, oh, this is probably not happening. Because again, with the Rick movie stuff, a lot of people were saying that Andrew Lincoln wasn't coming back and this and that. AMC canceled the movies. Everyone was sort of done with everything. And look at that. That wasn't the case at all, right? And even when you watched it at Comic-Con, the panel was over. I thought Andrew Lincoln would come on during the panel. I mean, you guys might have been there for the stream, but like, I was like, what the hell, nothing? Like, there's actually nothing. Andrew Lincoln's not there. Like, what's actually happening? They literally ended the whole thing, and it was like over and done. And then he and Denai Guerrero show up. And it's like, wow, really, like, you trolled everyone. You really make it so that we're anticipating this so much. It's building up so much. We get that disappointment, and then you get it. And I just kind of feel like that's sort of what's happening here. there's a lot of stuff here. There's a lot of things that are being kind of ignored and not answered right now. And so that's why I do hold with that belief that it is actually going to happen, because there's too many things here. Just going back to the Lance comments on like the certain alliances and just all that kind of stuff. Like there's a lot of stuff that's actually happening with just that. And like, I mean, I could go through a list. Like there's been several instances just this season alone where they've actually hinted at it. And I think the most important thing is that they brought the helicopter back for the season 11 intro, right? Like the season 11 intro, the opening sequence was actually brought back specifically for this season, and there's been no reference to that. You look at Scott Gimple's comments as well. Like we're building to something here, especially because we're getting all of these teases here. Like it would be crazy. Imagine if it didn't happen. I would be more shocked at that, to be honest, if it actually didn't happen. So I'm just saying, like, I know a lot of people, like I'm seeing in the comments, people are saying that like, oh, CRM this, CRM that, like you're going to be wrong. They're not showing up or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, people were wrong about the Rick stuff. Like people were wrong about that. Like he's actually coming back and in a much better way in an actual television show with multiple seasons. So I don't know. Like, I don't know if people are saying that because they're just so discouraged and they're just, they don't want to be heartbroken about it. But like, man, I don't know. Just enjoy being a fan of it and just be excited and stuff. And if it doesn't happen, if it actually doesn't happen, then be disappointed, angry, and whatever. But like, I have so much faith in this. I feel like that's actually where they're going here. And speaking of faith, that's the title of episode 22. Episode 23 is titled A Family, and then 24 is Rest in Peace, which is, yeah, I mean, you can kind of see where they're going with all of this, right? And that's a question I actually have regarding Designation 2. So like I was saying, Designation 2 references a place where people are taken to and are never really seen from again. We don't know anything about this place. Now, where Negan and Ezekiel are, that isn't Designation 2, because obviously that wasn't the case with them because they were taken to Alexandria again. And yeah, so obviously that was a separate thing there. Although I wonder if, like, I don't know if everyone went back to Alexandria. I think some people did. Some people stayed at that camp. So yeah, there could be something a little concerning there, I guess. But I actually wonder if that one scene in episode 21 really showed us that Connie was about to be taken by the Civic Republic, because Connie was alone there, right? Connie was actually alone and going to that train. I'm actually kind of curious about that. Was she about to be taken to the Civic Republic and literally just disappear from everything? I actually think there was a really good chance there. And so for everyone to save her on that train, I think that was, like, honestly crazy smart. Like, I can't believe they actually pulled that off, because like there was a good chance that she could have been gone for literally forever. I mean, obviously, I know plot wise they wanted to keep her on the show. I'm just saying though, like, it could have been that dangerous. And so to see where we're at right now, I do have a lot of questions on where everything is going right now. Like obviously Alexandria has been created and turned into this new processing center. I don't really understand it. And I talked about it in my trailer breakdown, and I actually noticed it while editing. But there's a shot here of Maggie. You do see that Commonwealth banner in the background. I don't know if you remember in the video, I talked about like, oh, I wonder what that is. There's actually a shot of this warden here. I believe that's in that room, actually, because I think he's actually speaking with Negan, because there's another shot of Negan where it looks like he's up against this wall. So I actually think that's what's happening here. I think this is happening much earlier. And so I think Maggie probably goes in that room. Again, I think they're interviewing everyone here. I think they're interviewing Negan, Ezekiel, Kelly, Annie. I mean, the list goes on, right? There's a lot of people there. And I think they're going to determine their fate, basically, whether or not certain characters are going to go to the Civic Republic, certain characters are going to be going back to the Commonwealth, or what happens, basically, right? So it's, I mean, yeah, I really feel like that's exactly where they're going here, because, like, why return them to Alexandria? Why? Why are they being processed here, right? It just doesn't really make that much sense. So I really feel like that's where we're going here. I do think a Rick Grimes mention or a tease is going to be happening at some point. Again, I don't know if the Civic Republic will specifically say Rick Grimes. That's a little bit too much. I'm really wondering how that's going to come up, because it seems like the connection to the Civic Republic is something that is actually going to happen right away. Like there's going to be some sort of thing here where they learn of the CRM. It's just, how do you connect that to Rick Grimes, right? That's the question I have here. And I feel like that's kind of a hard thing to do, but I think Judith could be the key to that. So we're going to have to wait and see, but I feel like Judith could be the key to that. I think Judith could be the one that actually says, like, yeah, my mom found some proof that my dad survived, and that's where she went. She went to go look for him. Like, I feel like maybe she gets scared from some of this CRM stuff, some of whatever's happening here, that maybe our characters find out that way. And so in that sense, maybe they don't necessarily know he is alive and out there, but like they basically have a really good feeling that, yeah, he's probably out there. And so maybe that's what they do here, right? Like it is kind of hard to say. I don't know if we're going to be getting it in episode 22. Honestly, actually, not even, I don't know. I feel like we're probably not going to. The CRM stuff, maybe. I think in episode 23, though, it's titled Family. There's some shots of Daryl and Judith like knocked out. There's a bunch of stuff that's happening. I actually think that it's probably a really good place to actually introduce some of this stuff here. Maybe when Judith wakes up, she realizes some things and she's the one that tells Daryl. I don't know. Things are about to turn here, though. It really feels like episode 22. The point of this is to wrap up so much stuff. It's going to wrap up many, many storylines. And I really do, like, I honestly really do feel like we are going to be in a place here where we are going to get some answers here. And I'm going to look back at the last couple of episodes, and I really feel like they kind of set everything up perfectly, to be honest. Like, I kind of, like, again, if the reveal happens in 23, so say the CRM reveal happens in 23 or at the very end of 22, basically as a cliffhanger sort of thing. And then in 23, you're dealing with some stuff. They're going back to the Commonwealth or whatever's going to happen there. And then maybe that's where some Rick stuff comes out. And then 24 is just, reaction to that and sort of ending everything and whatever. But these next episodes are going to be very big. And I think when I look back at it at that point, I'm going to understand how much this was sort of paced and how much teasers there were here. Like things were just happening, like things were just being spelled out, like just so plainly in front of us, right? And I mean, I picked up on a lot of it. I've been talking about all of it. Some people say I'm reaching, but again, we're going to find out soon. Like we're going to find out in, I guess less than a month. Honestly, I think we're going to know a lot of this stuff before 24. I think by the end of episode 23, we're going to know so much. So really in the next 2 weeks, I think we're going to know so much. And then we're just going to our last episode, which is airing on November 20th. And again, there's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about there, obviously, between November 6th and the 20th, because it depends on how they end it. But besides that, there's going to be so much promotion for the last season here. There's going to be a lot of stuff. Like I know AMC is really going to be going crazy with some of the marketing and stuff like that. There's going to be a huge promotional push like we've literally never seen before. So I'm really excited for that. I really wonder if a lot of old cast members are going to be coming back to sort of send off the show. I wonder if Andrew Lincoln will be doing some more interviews and stuff like that. Like it's going to be honestly a really exciting time. I really, really cannot wait. I wouldn't be surprised if at Talking Dead or even that live event, if Andrew Lincoln and other actors or actresses like Denai Guerrera show up, right? And maybe if there's a Rick post-credit scene, they talk about that a little bit there. Like, it's going to be really big. Again, these next couple of episodes are going to get really, really massive here. And that's what Angela Kang and a lot of people who work on the show have said. Like, the story's just sort of going and going and going. And then at the end, it gets really insane, really chaotic. So that honestly, when you look at the episode 22 trailer, it kind of really spells that out. Like you see a lot of stuff with Oceanside. It looks like we're actually going to be getting that reveal of what happened to them, what's going on over there. There's some stuff with Eugene's trial that I think they're just going to wrap up in this episode. And then some of the stuff in Alexandria. So I really am just unbelievably hyped to see where this is all going to go, because I actually think it's going to be, a really insane next couple of weeks here. Next month, really. And then once, honestly, I don't even know, like after November 20th, I guess going into November 21st, I don't know how I'm going to sleep that night. I'm going to be doing videos and stuff like that all night. Like I already know I'm going to be like, it's going to be a little different this time too, like mind you, because the finale will be airing at 9 p.m. Eastern. I think it's 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. It's what they always say, right? So yeah, 9 p.m. Eastern, and then it'll be over at 10. And then I'll get to work on my review and it'll drop a couple hours afterwards. So you guys are going to have to wait for that. So I do apologize for that. It's going to suck to have to wait for that review, but I'm excited for this. Honestly, I'm really excited to see where this is actually going to be going here. It's going to be a really crazy review, to be honest. I can't believe it's going to be my final Walking Dead review ever. Like, it's not my final Walking Dead universe review, but for the original show, it's going to be my last review. And I just kind of feel like I want to title it like the Walking Dead series finale review or kind of thing, right? The end. Like, it's going to be such a crazy video to do, giving my last thoughts in that video on the show, and then that's it. Like, I will do a series review, reviewing the entire series and how I think it really compared to the comic, things that they've done right throughout the years and whatnot. I'll take some time with that though. I think that, I think I need to let the last season sort of sit with me for a little bit. So maybe I'll do that more in December and stuff. Because I think in December, by the end of December anyways, they're going to calm down with some of the promotion stuff for, for future seasons and whatnot. And I think they'll pick up in like January, February and stuff. So it'll be a good time to get those type of videos out, those like reviews and like top 10 stuff. But yeah, anyways, like I was saying, the next month is going to be pretty remarkable. I really cannot wait to get going here. And I think we sort of got, I don't want to say through the boring episodes, but I think we got through the boring episodes, right? Like they weren't boring, and I don't want to say any episode here from the last 8 episodes were boring, but clearly these 5 here were just, the very just whatever story that were meant to set up, I guess, these last 3 here. And based off the trailer for 22, it just looks so good. I can't wait to watch it this Sunday. And then honestly, my trailer breakdown for episode 23, like I can't believe we're gonna see footage from all of that, and just like anyways, I'm excited. I'm gonna quit rambling now, but definitely post your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get all my Walking Dead content like this, and yeah, thank you guys so much for watching.